we'll have a very short presentation on the various types of what shall I say, the representation of network items, and after that, I want you to just enjoy one of the documentaries which I really liked a lot. It is a documentary on the construction of the Burj Dubai. So in this, you will find that they have used a lot of the techniques which were successful in many of the earlier construction, and this has culminated into a impressive structure, Burj Dubai. In the same way, if you look at this particular series which Discovery or rather National Geographic has been doing, they have done some of the bridges and stuff like that. Here you have a lot of learning on how they used materials very wisely, okay, how they have developed new materials which will suit the requirements of the building of which they are thinking about. And also you'll also have to think about the way they have managed to orchestrate the entire construction operation. I'm using a very specific term, orchestrate, because they have they have actually used precast segments. They have brought these segments at the right time, and then they have done it. The sequence has been planned well in advance. Okay, the sequence of like quite a, volume. Volume is fine. Thanks. Volume. So now when I just come here, this is a Gantt chart. This Gantt chart gives the duration of various activities. You got quite a lot of activities. So procurement means getting of materials. Then you got field mobilization. So field mobilization means you have to set up an office in site. So basically, you'll see that it's a container, irrespective of the organization, irrespective of the country where you work, they'll have a container which they keep, and inside that they set up an office, that site, and then they got some site work. Over and above that, you do some pile foundation. Okay, so these are some things which they have marked in this one. So here, if you see, procurement goes till August, and you'll find that the other things are put in terms of to get into perspective how work is being done. Quite a few of you in your mini project would have done used this method to highlight or show how how it is that you're going to work, right? Have you done this mini project? Those who have done mini project, nobody has done mini project. Okay, yeah, but have you been asked to show your schedule, how you are going to finish your work? So this is where this I mean, like, this is one of the tools which you will be using there. This is a quantity sheet. Okay, I just want you to have a look at this sheet. Now, if you look at the quantity sheet here, you have what is known as a cost code. Okay, whenever you join an organization to a specification or for a specification, they'll have a cost code. You suppose you are making M30 concrete, that will have a cost code, M25 will have a cost code, and stuff like that. So the moment you see this number, okay, can you see it is looking something like your WBS 03150.20, just something like your WBS. So you'll have a broad outline and as well as a sub number, but this is definitely depending on the organization which is doing the work. Again, so here are some of the calculations. Everything is direct, straightforward multiplication. So many labor is required, and how the cost is coming. Direct cost is for getting that labor. Okay, you are paying him out of your pocket. That will be your direct cost. There are certain costs which you cannot, where you don't pay directly. So these are called the indirect cost. These will be in the form of, like, for example, you are giving them tea or juice. So you will be costing it at 15 rupees per glass, but in reality it may not be that much. But because of getting somebody into your site, you are going to have some cost. That is indirect cost. So the other things are coming up. So you will find that you're going to total all of this up, and you're going to get a particular value. And yesterday we were talking about the early start and other things, right? So if suppose you got a previous activity and this is the place where your activity can start at the earliest. So if you're going to add it, you're going to, this is the activity duration, you get the time at which you're going to finish. On the x-axis, you're going to have the various units of time. So you are going to have a free time here. This is called as float or slack. Okay. Then sometimes what will happen is you will be requiring to move the activity right till the start of the next activity. Just before the next activity starts, you are going to push the time. Under such circumstance, you don't have any float. You don't have any float. You cannot afford to waste any time. Okay, for this activity. Probably the previous activity is having this much of float. Okay, but this activity will not have any float. Okay, and yeah, so if suppose it is lying in between two activities, you will be able to understand what this float it is that we are talking about. Okay, yesterday we were talking about lag. Okay, task A is actually lagging behind task B, and on the other hand, if you come to this, if you are putting it in another way, if suppose both of them were supposed to have started at the same time, okay, task B is actually what is happening is we are having a lead of this much. Okay, if suppose task B were to start only after task A, you are having a lead on task A. We are talking about lead in the previous class. Okay, so this is what lead is about. Okay, and would you like to have any clarification on these two